What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Eclectic Beard. Let's go around. We got some more of the Two Ronnies. This one, the Ministry of Sexual Equality. That would probably take on a whole different set of stuff these days. Let's get into it. I wonder if that's how that Canadian teacher walked around, because had the big prosthetic breast in the classroom and dressed like a dude outside. Kind of the same concept, I guess. Man looking like a gender-confused Two-Face from Batman. I'm here to take and kill you. I'll bake you some cookies.
Good evening. I'm from the Ministry of Sex Equality. I'm here tonight to explain the situation man to man. Or as we have to say now, person to person. My name is Mr. Stroke Mrs. Barker. But I don't advise any of you to try it. Stroking Mrs. Barker. Now, due to this new law...
So, I don't know when this come out, but it's funny the fact that it says spoke person, because they're definitely trying to ungender, for the sake of not offending anybody, spokesman, spokeswoman, just spokesperson. Some of this stuff they do go a little bit too far with. Like, if you're going to be offended by something as simple as that, maybe you should stay at home. Just maybe.
Or no one is allowed to be called male or female, man or woman. Now, this has already caused a great deal of argument in Parliament, so they're all going for a parliamentary conference at Manchester, or as we now say, Personchester. They'll all stay in a nudist colony and air their differences.
Yo, seriously, when was this put out? When was this put out? Because it sounds like exactly what we see going on today.
Personchester. They'll all stay in a nudist colony and air their differences. Members only, of course. But how does this affect you? Well, is it easy to become unsexed? Well, it can be done. And I represent the proof. At least half of me does. The other half represents the poof. Now, the first thing we have to realize is that for too long, women have been beneath men. Not only in the home, but in the office as well. And there are many ways in which we can change that. Vertical desktops, for a start. Now, the main area of change, of course, will be in the language. The man in the street will become the person in the street. Whoever you are, whether man or woman, you will be the person in the street. Incidentally, when I was in the street the other day, I nearly fell down a person hole, so be careful. Now, certain professions will have their names changed, from the chairperson of a large company right down to the humble dust person. Not to be confused, of course, with the famous film star Dustin Hoffperson. Now, speaking of films, there will be special feature films made showing the equality of the sexes, already in production, a new musical called 7 Persons for 7 Other Persons, starring Paul Newperson with choreography by Robert Helpperson.
This is a piss take on stuff, but it seems like something that it's almost prophetic, because there's so much. If you say man or woman, or you refer to people sometimes as man or woman, people get offended because they'll say you mislabeled them. And it's like, this is like so almost perfect. Like, this is crazy. And yeah, that over here, we've got numerous cities who have changed as much stuff as possible from man or woman to person. And it's like, but I have no problem with calling someone a person whatsoever. But if the word man or woman offends you, like, seriously, what are you doing with your life that's not right? Show me on the doll where you were hurt.
Starring Paul Newperson with choreography by Robert Helpperson. And music by Person Tavani and his orchestra. Now, dress. Dress, of course, you won't be expected to dress like this. This sort of costume is much too expensive. Half a knicker certainly doesn't cover it. Each person person can, of course, choose what to wear, provided it includes the customary shirt, bra, underpants, and handbag. Shoes can be black or brown, according to individual taste. I myself find that black shoes taste rather better than brown ones. Jobs, too, will be entirely sexless, with one or two obvious exceptions. What are they, you may ask?
Jobs will be entirely sexist. So there's a bunch of married people? I'm confused now.
Will be entirely sexless, with one or two obvious exceptions. What are they, you may ask? You may ask, but I'm not telling you on this program. Here is a clue. They have jam on them and appear at tea time. Now, a job must be open to either a what's it or a who's it. That is, of either sex. For instance, certain advertisements will not be allowed. Now, I have one here in the local paper, and it says, if I can find it, oh yes, bar staff required for West Country pub, male or female, must have big boobs. Now, of course, that won't be passed by the ministry at all. What they should have said was, bar staff required, male or female, must be attractive in the Bristol area. That would have got past. A recent idea by the ministry to avoid confusion is to call a man a doings and a woman a thingy. This offends no one and makes conversation clearer. Thus, we instantly recognize the book called Little Thingies, or the musical called My Fair Thingy, or the play by George Bernard Shaw called Doings and Super Doings. There are times, however, when it sounds better to stick to the word person. The person in the street is still better than the doings in the street. That's something to look out for and steer clear of. Finally, don't let this new law alter your life. After all, what's in a name, as the great John Fat Pimple once remarked? I know that whatever we're called, my own dear Thingy and myself will carry on as usual, wearing each other's clothes. And that however we, the people, are thought of by the ministry, tonight, all over Britain, all those thingies and doings will be together in front of the fire as usual. Good night.
Yo, he does stuff that he pulls off stuff that just in such an awesome way that it's crazy. This does feel a bit prophetic though, because it seems like everybody is offended these days, and in the sake of not offending offending people who don't like the words male or man or woman, male or female, person, and other things are used in place of it. And I've got no problem if you either. I've got no problem with people taking and living how they live and being who they are. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But if words like that offend you, that if you see words like spokesman or spokeswoman and it offends you, society's not the one with the problem. You are. Not everything deserves victimhood. Just saying. It feels very prophetic, but it's also very funny because some of the silliness that we've seen kind of mirrors this. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.